Needle felting with a glue stick. Can you? Should you? Will you? Let's find out. Hey, I'm Pam Duthie and I'm here to help you craft your career with creative marketing and artistic inspiration. And it's a Wednesday, so it's another needle felting techniques tutorial. Every Wednesday I make videos just like this, so if this is something you're interested in, come back every Wednesday. So when attaching fibres to an armature, there's lots of products you can purchase to help the fibre stick to the armature. Now, do we actually need this? Actually, no. In general, we don't need the fibre to stick to the armature because as we wind the wool all over the armature and felt it, it's going to create like a kind of tube all round the wire. However, would it be a little bit easier when we're initially wrapping the wire, or if we're doing very small details, would it be easier to have a product that helps the fibres just stick that little bit onto the wire so that you don't need to have three hands? Now, I'm sure we've all seen and heard of some relatively expensive products or products that are going to have to be shipped from other countries that are designed to make the wire a little bit tacky to help the fibre stick to it. But I'm all for looking for inexpensive solutions to these things, and I had this glue stick kicking around. So I actually have this for Halloween makeup that I like to do sometimes. I love YouTube channels like Glam and Gore and Made You Look, so if you haven't checked out these guys and you like some horror type makeup, then you really need to check them out. I'll leave links in the cards up above. But this glue, I got a good few years ago, and the very faded price tag says I got it for 89 pence. It is a non-toxic glue and it's in this fetching blue colour, but the good news is that when the glue dries, the colour fades to clear. So I thought worth a trying this glue. So all you're looking for is an acid-free, non-toxic crafter's glue stick. I'm sure there are plenty of brands out there. So does this work? Let's go have a look. So I've got this crafter's glue stick. It's Amos crafter's glue stick. It's acid-free, safe and non-toxic because I've been using it on my face. The other reason I use this, it's a kind of blue colour, but it dries clear so I can tell when it's clear. So first off, I want to try and rub one on one stick and let it dry a little bit. And we're going to add one onto another and just kind of go for it straight away. This is revolting to work with. I'm not feeling like it's going to work just now, but hey, we've got to try. And I'm using this kind of orangey roving, just basically because I've got tons of this lying about, because every time I go to a company and go, have you got a golden retriever type colour, they send me this and it's revolting. So yeah, so we'll take a little bit of this, press it into the glue at the end here and wrap, and yeah, that's not really holding in any way. But let's give it a couple of wraps to get it nicely embedded in. Okay, possibly. You can see a little bit of glue poking out at the bottom. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue further down just to see if we can hold the end with some glue also. Don't have much hope for it, but we'll see. So keeping a nice tight wrap. I mean, it's certainly not slipping at the end. I was pulling so tight the roving slipped there. Okay, so let's break off the bit there, wrap it round, and then just try and use my fingers to wrap it into itself. Ugh, it's definitely making my fingers feel sticky. You wouldn't be able to do this and then just go on to your next bit of felt. You'd certainly have to wash your fingers. But okay, that's given a thin covering of felt that's holding. Don't know how long it'll last, but it's holding for now. So let's try and do the same thing, but without actually any glue. So a few wraps at the start to get it started. And then holding nice and tight. Bloomin' Raven got a bit too loose there, just added an extra bit on, but wrapping nice and tight. And I'm pulling away, and that's still sticking. So if you want a felt super tight at the start, I'm not seeing any bonus to having the glue there. It held to finish it up, like there's no way this is gonna, well, let's give it a shot. Alright, wind this little taily bit round, roll it between my fingers, which are clean now. Actually, it's kind of holding. I don't know how well you can see that. With glue, without glue. So just because I added some glue here, it's not fully dry, but it's certainly tacky. The bits that you can see are dry, that's tacky, so I'll just try and push a piece of fleece onto the end. It's slightly holding, but if I pulled hard it would go, but it might, yeah, it might make it a little less fiddly to get a start. I'll give it that. It might be a slight bit easier. Let's see, just even a dab of glue on the fleece there. Take it back round one more time. Roll it between my fingers. And yeah, I'm going to say that might be a tiny bit easier to get a start as well. So let's try it one more time without the glue. So we need to run it round a couple of times to get it to hold. And there we go. Oh no, that's not quite holding. If you go around 2 or 3 times, it will hold up to a light bit of pressure, and then it just makes it easier to wind round again. Let's see that in more close up if I can. So a little bit closer, this is very fiddly. So you have to pop a piece, the end piece of the fleece on, wrap it round 1, 2, 3 times till it starts to hold itself, and then it's going to be absolutely fine. It's not going anywhere. And you can still get a really tight felt without glue. Just going to try one more thing once I'm done with this. Wrapping it round and finishing off this edge just by wrapping it some more. Rubbing between my fingers, and then I just want to see if I can smooth this into itself with a little glue on my fingers. That's probably far too much, but just rolling it between my fingers. And then let's leave that to dry and see what happens. It looks fairly smooth and secure just now. And let's, well, I've still got glue on my fingers, let's just add a wee bit more onto this one that I rolled with the glue, just a little bit more to... Got to work fast, it's starting to get quite sticky, which is starting to catch the fibres, but if it's still wet enough, then just wrap that round. So let's see how that dries, but I'm gonna say, okay, this one already starting to dry. Yeah, it looks okay because that was just an extra tail. Let's leave them to dry and see what happens. So how's this finished out? Well, it's dried absolutely perfectly, can't see a thing. It's nicely held together. There's nothing to stop you at this stage felting a little bit, although the pieces that I made are obviously far too skinny that you wouldn't even want to felt them. So I'm going to go ahead and say you don't need a product, but something nice and cheap like this little glue can actually be a not bad idea just to get a little bit of help to get rid of some of the strays and fuzzies. It really seems to have done the job. So, Pam Duthie, thumbs up. I approve of this. So if you want something to just give you that little bit of extra stick, get some of this glue stick. Okay, so I hope that helped you all. If it did, don't forget, click on my wee face to subscribe, check out the video in the cards that YouTube wants you to watch, and come back every Wednesday. Thank you so much.